Welcome to Free Mind Reviews. This is Chris Johnson with a review of Nxt Takeover in Your House. So, Takeover in Your House is the first takeover we've had since Portland, and of course, the first takeover we've had really without fans, and the first takeover we've had in Full Sail in years. And what I really enjoyed about this show is its mix of the takeover work rate that you are familiar with the great nostalgia and respect for In Your House pay-per-views of old. It isn't just them using the name In Your House. They brought back the house set. I was so happy about that one. They brought back the nostalgic 90s commercials, you know, like the ice cream sandwiches and the old In Your House interviewer coming back, Todd. The Ico Pro, the little jokes about the 900 number. Oh, there's no 900 number. Oh man, that was great. There's more of a levity to this takeover than any other takeover because of the great nostalgia and homages to In Your House. Because if you look at this pay per view is not only in the takeover banner, in the takeover history, it's in Your House history. So it was like they had to balance out respecting takeover as you expect takeover to be, and also In Your House as you expect in Your House to be. And I personally feel they nailed it. We had 6 matches on the card, just like Portland. And the first match was a nice, quick, cool 6-woman tag team match. My brother predicted the good guys were gonna win, but I thought they were, wrestling of today loves the heel, loves popping the heel. But so I could have sworn Candice LeRae was probably gonna get that tight pulling win, but I was pleasantly surprised that the team of Tegan Knox and Shotzi Blackheart and Mia Yim won the match, and then Mia Yim and Candice pretty much brawled to the back, where we didn't see them again until a little later on in the night. So that was a fun little 6-woman tag to start the show. The second match of the night, I don't want to call this the surprise of the night. It's almost unfair to Damian Priest in particular. Finn Balor having a great match is not a surprise. But he Damian Priest has been very impressive in the past couple of episodes of NXT. With the triple threat match he had with Lee and Dijakovic, and the one-on-one match he had with Lee, and he was so impressive in this match. I wrote a quote on I wrote a joke on Reddit that Priest just died for our sins because he took one really nasty, in particular, bump on the steel steps, and it was crazy. And it was just it was just great work from him all around, both with his move set and how dynamic it is, especially for a man his size. And he made Finn Balor look like a predator. He helped make Finn Balor look like just a killer. That it doesn't matter how big you are or how tall you are, he's gonna find a way to destroy you. And that's what the Prince is. And it was just a great match, and a great showing for both. That was a good example of a guy looking great in a loss. Absolutely. And then the next match was Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano. And of course, they played more with the story of the fact that Johnny, the new Johnny, was going to do the best he can to weasel his way into this championship by trying to take every advantage that Keith Lee has and turning it into a disadvantage. Trying to negate his power moves by screwing his strong hand, his left hand. Trying to negate his clear vision by messing with his eyes with the keys. And it was very interesting because it's one of the few times you've seen Johnny get to really wrestle as the heel in a takeover. Usually Johnny's the catch-as-catch-can babyface in takeovers. So here he's wrestling a bigger guy and he's the heel. And it was one of the fun things to me. And it's really fun to watch a big man, little man match where the little guy is the heel. Because then the little guy has to show how much brain power he has and has to really figure out what ways to beat on and hurt this big man who's pretty much superior to me in every single way. And it was a very, very, very fun match to watch, and especially in that regard. And in the regard of Keith Lee just being beast mode, Incredible Hulk, this is over for you mode, which I'm really digging. He did that to Damian Priest too, where he just owned Damian Priest at the end. It's like, I don't need this, this nightstick. I am limitless, bong, and then just murdered him with power bombs. And then he basically did that again here, but even worse. He straight up spirit bombed Johnny, and then he power bombed him again, and then it looked like he was gonna do another power bomb, but then he just put him on his back with the Big Bang Catastrophe. There was no way Johnny was kicking out of that. And you know, Johnny in the past has kicked out everything but the sun, but he wasn't getting out of that. And now that was in the big, great, awesome spot I loved, which I was hoping they would do, was Keith bouncing Johnny through the protective glass. That was absolutely awesome, and I'm very happy that they did that. So that match delivered as well. So far so good with the night. The Backlog Brawl match was more fun for me than it was for other NXT fans as I've seen. The lighting didn't bother me as much. Camera work wasn't fantastic, but it didn't bother me as much. It's probably, out of all the cinematic, quote unquote cinematic matches that WWE's done since the quarantine, yeah, this is probably the weakest one. With the Boneyard match being so strong in general, and the Firefly Funhouse match being so warped and intellectual, and of course Gargano Ciampa being so intense and so great on a dramatic storytelling level. This one, of course, didn't have any of that. But it did have his fun moments. I loved Adam Cole getting dropped into the windshield and him laying there like he's dead. Dexter Lumis coming in and kidnapping the other two members of the Undisputed Era was hilarious. Like I said, there was some fun old school aspects of this NXT. It was, like I said, a little bit more light, a little more levitativity, and it was good because we kind of needed that right now. Well, what's going on in the world, I definitely needed that. Then you had the most lethal Panama Sunrise. Shitload of chairs, and that was it for Velveteen. Hurt me to see Velveteen lose, but I gotta say that one final camera shot of it dollying out wide while Adam is screaming "Adam Cole, baby," was fantastic. Also, one thing I really liked the people being in the cars, basically just egging on the fight. I love that. That was cool. Now here comes what for me was the surprise of the night, even though it really shouldn't have been a surprise. Tommaso Ciampa got destroyed. That was crazy. I think we were all expecting like a barn burner killer match, and they probably could do that if they ever did a rematch. But that did not happen. Ciampa got annihilated, and Cross looks like an absolute monster, which means any person who wrestles Cross, I'm going to be immediately scared for, because the guy's a monster. Look what he did to one of the best in the history of NXT, former NXT champion. Threw him around like a rag doll. And what was that, 5-6 minute match? Threw him out like a rag doll and choked him out. That was crazy. There was it was probably one of the first times in a while we've seen that. A takeover match, which is not about the quality of the match, it's not about how epic the match can get, but more about telling you everything you need to know about a certain wrestler. And it tells me that that Karrion Kross is not to be messed with. And I'm scared for whoever comes into contact with him next. I don't feel like he's unbeatable or anything like that. I don't feel like he's an unbeatable character, but he is definitely a force character, and it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with him from here. And then we had the final match, and it was right for this to be main evented. It probably had the best build up out of all the matches. You have three of the best in the world in their division in this match. The triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship with Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. And I have made no bones. I have made it plain to my friends and to my family that I could not stand Charlotte having the NXT Women's Championship. and this whole let's have her pass Ric Flair in a couple of days thing that they're doing, uh, and what it did for Rhea and all that stuff. Wasn't happy about that. Um, but I was definitely excited for this match simply because of the talent involved with the three women, and with Io, I probably do agree with Io Shirai being the best female wrestler on the planet, definitely one of the best wrestlers on the planet. Period. Rhea Ripley's only 23 years old, and she's so good. And Charlotte, you already know. Um, just a fantastic triple threat, just absolutely fantastic match. The girl, they were intense from the word go. And you really, there were moments where you just felt hate. Like, Charlotte just comes off like she hates everybody. And Rhea and Io can't stand each other because it's like, you are trying to take my thunder away from me. And I'm trying to get my title. That title's mine. You're in my way. And, it's a feeling that you don't get enough for championships. That you do, at least in the Raw and SmackDown era, but you definitely get that feeling in NXT where people really care about the title, and their hatred for each other really spews off of the title. Like somebody said that on a forum I was on last night, and I was talking about when they were fighting in the ramp, we really got to feel it. It really felt like there was hate there, and he said, "Well, it's not necessarily hate to me. It was more like the drive for the title is so strong that." It really brings off a higher level of intensity, and oh my god, and he's right. He's completely right. And some great spots like Charlotte throwing Io through the in your house window, and then Io jumping off the roof of the in your house stage, and then the ending of the match was a surprise to me. Not because Io won, even though I love that Io won. It was the fact that they did a spot that I was talking to a friend about on Thursday that I was hoping they'd do, which is Charlotte having the figure eight on Rhea, and then Io moonsaulting onto Rhea. I don't know why. I didn't think they would do it, but they did it, and that was the finish of the match, and it got me so hype because the right person won, and they used the spot that I was thinking of. And yes, the spot I was thinking of did have Rhea being the one taking the moonsault because in my mind that was safer to do. And I don't think taking the pin hurts Rhea here just because she was already in a submission that she couldn't get out of, but she wasn't giving up, and then she got blindsided by a moonsault. It's triple threat. It happens. And it's just safer for Rhea to take the moonsault than Charlotte, since Charlotte's all bent up like she's doing the spider walk in The Exorcist. So it would be more safer to do it on Rhea than to do it on Charlotte. Poor Rhea took a nasty bump on the head on it, but such a fun night for NXT Takeover. I was saying, it may not have been a classic show like New York and New Orleans and Dallas and Portland or Brooklyn, um, but it was probably one of the more fun NXT takeovers just because of the nice balance between great wrestling and just fun 90s nostalgia entertainment. And I hope that is not the last in your house. I hope they do enough. I actually would love for this to be a yearly thing where they do in your house and they bring back the house set and just have a ball with it. And I'm really grateful for this, and just like before, I cannot wait for the next takeover.